get this interview on the way. And yeah. Okay. Cecilia, following obviously the resurgence in COVID-19 cases in South Africa, I mean, Netball South Africa has decided to suspend all planned activities until further notice, you know, and we have been discussing even way before the interview started that this is a very difficult time for many families, especially who have lost loved ones. You know, all we see on social media is rest in peace. But if you can just give us sort of like, obviously, this suspension has seen the under 21 training camp, the SPA challenge, and the male national championships being affected, as they were initially supposed to take place in January. Will these activities or events still take place at a later stage, or have they been cancelled completely?
See, we're starting a year on a very sad note. Something that we all didn't anticipate that we will have, and it will happen to us. You know, the last time when we were hit by COVID-19, I mean, the first, what do you call it, stage of this thing, and then the first wave, and you know, we were like, okay, it's coming, it's happening, people will have to quarantine for 10 days, 7 days, whatsoever. But now, it's so sad because in 3 days' time, somebody's gone. So as Netball South Africa, we had to take an unfavorable decision to us as an organization, because obviously if we don't do events and if we don't give our girls opportunities to play, well, who will give them that opportunity? However, we decided as Netball South Africa that we want to suspend all those activities that you talked about, the under 21 squad camp, the SPA challenge, and the male championships until further notice. The nice thing about the whole thing is we didn't suspend it for forever. We are still going to have the under 21, you know, squad camp, because we anyway preparing for the World Cup for Fiji. I mean, the dates went out 3 days ago, I believe, from IMF, because I'm sitting in an IMF board, so I know the dates went out. It's the 2nd to the 11th of December in Fiji. The Youth World Championship. So to me, we can't say we're going to suspend everything. We'll have to find a means of getting them together and getting them to train and take extraordinary precautionary measures in whatever we're doing. So as we train, because we cannot just take a team and send it out to the world and say, we want you to go and perform. However, we don't give them an opportunity to train. So we will have to find plan A, B, C, D, or E, C, D. I don't know, but something has to be done. The SPA challenge, we negotiated with countries that we're planning to play with, because it's beyond our control. It's not under our control, so people are dying. And what I can say is people's lives matters more than netball. I'm sorry to say that, but I have to say that. My life matters more than netball. Your life matters more than netball. Players' life, official lives, everybody's life matters more than netball. Even the spectators' life matters more than netball. So we will have to find a way of how do we play the SPA challenge, because we also have to keep what do you call it, SPA Proteas active. We've got 2023 Dikeledi, and we don't want to go out before the quarterfinals. We have to go on the podium stage and get a medal. I don't want to know what kind of a medal, but we have to go and get a medal. And we cannot go and get a medal without playing games, without engaging, without squad camps, without being active. We can't get that medal. So we have to do something for them to make sure that they get game time and the coaches get the combinations they need and, you know, build forward towards what we're doing for 2023. The other important aspect is the male championships. We have to sit down and, you know, it's disturbing me. And I'm saying this with a very sore heart, because we were supposed to have the male championships last year around November.
Yes.
We didn't have it because we didn't have enough times, responding to the championships. And then this time around, when we have enough teams responding, then you have this COVID-19 issue. And you know, they will feel like we are segregating them, we are discriminating against them, and which we are not. They are part of us, we are them, they are us, and we want to give them that opportunity to play and do what they love most. I mean, play netball. So we'll have to sit down and, you know, relook at when can they play the championships, because we wish that maybe they say they can play it in January and play it again in their month, you know, in September, play it twice in a year. Last year, we didn't give them that opportunity. And with males, if you can tell them they can play 3 times a year, believe you me, they will do it. That's how they love their netball. They will do it. They'll play 3 times a year. So to me, we will make sure that activities like those that we have just put on hold, we just cancel them and postpone. We didn't cancel them, we postponed them. Okay. So there's nothing that is canceled. We just postponed them to, you know, to the future. Let me just say to the nearer future, and we will see how to do and go about it.
Okay, you talk about some of the events being postponed and obviously the male championships not taking place last year, but there is a bit of a challenge, you know, in terms of trying to find new dates for all postponed activities, especially due to COVID-19 and what's happening now around the world. What are some of the challenges that you as an organization actually face in terms of making sure that you find the correct dates that don't clash with any other events, because it is a very difficult time, and unfortunately you guys have to work your way around in terms of just making sure that everyone gets game time rather, as much as you saying that's a priority as well.
You see, it's going to be a very difficult challenge because we're talking SPA Proteas. Let's talk the SPA Proteas right now. And when you talk SPA Proteas, you're talking players that are playing overseas. Some of them have to leave, some have left, and they have to come back. And you see this up and down on planes. It's not safe either. And going to other countries, remember when you go to Australia, that I know for a fact because we have been talking to the CEO of Suncorp. So we understand that when you have to go to Australia, you have to quarantine for 14 days. You know, in quarantine, and then we can start doing things. So if we have to bring them back, it means they have to quarantine in the country again for 14 days, because those are the rules, because when they go back, they'll want to see if they quarantined for 14 days. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm not going to run away from reading and say it's not going to be a challenge. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I always say where there's a problem, there's a solution. So we'll have to find that solution and find those dates to give our players game time. This time, no excuses. We cannot have excuses. We had enough excuses, but as I said, it's beyond our control. But after the president has announced that now we can do whatever and do what we have to do, we'll have to squeeze, you know, unfortunately we'll have to squeeze, and it's going to be tough on players. It's going to be tough on us, on everybody else. But life goes on. You have to do it.
True. But I just also want to know, I mean, what factors contributed or steered into the decision that you guys are suspending all activities instead of going for a biosafe environment, which you guys used for events like the TNL, which actually went so well? What is the difference?
It was the first wave of COVID-19. Let's be realistic. This is the second wave. People are dying within 3 days. We don't want to find ourselves with a case of they were ignorant, you know, they knew what was going to happen. And, you know, when things happen, nobody will say we didn't know. They will say they knew that this would happen. Why did they do it? So instead of, you know, being the people that, you know, want to be reactive, let us be proactive. You know, let's not be reactive, let us be proactive and say, you know, this is what we want to do as Netball South Africa, and this is where we're going, this is where we're leading. However, we know that it's going to be difficult. A biosafe environment, remember, the same people are from homes. So it means now we have to quarantine them for 10 days because they are from home. And after quarantine them, give them time to train. And after giving them time to train, give them time to play. Believe you me, it's a lot of money. Money that I don't think Netball South Africa has. So we also, you know, have to deal with what we have in our coffers. Look at what we have in our coffers. We are not, unfortunately, we are not rugby SA. We are not cricket SA. We are not, you know, SAFA. We are not those big organizations that have got money, you know, PSL that can, you know, spend 300 million, you know. to just to a biosafe, environment. We don't have that money lying around. If we had it, we'll do it. Definitely, we'll do it. However, also let's take the money issue into consideration. If we had the money, we'll do it. We don't have that kind of money.
Thank you for actually clarifying that, because, I actually wanted to ask you that, because we see other sporting codes, continuing with their league fixtures. And now that you've explained what the difference is, then it clearly makes sense as well. But talking about the second wave, we don't know how long it's going to last. It's unprecedented times. We're taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. Are there any contingency plans that you guys have as an organization for future events that are still yet to happen, should this continue for a long time?
Let me and you pray, and everybody else pray in the country, that it doesn't continue for a long time. Because when we say, I say the power of the tongue, when we say it's going to continue, it will continue. But when we say it doesn't, it will never continue. Because when we say that, we're talking people losing lives. And it might be me, it might be you, it might be any player, it might be an official. I don't wish in this era that I'm called to go and bury one of my somebody netball in the national level side or provincial level side passes on. I'm the president. Do I have a choice of not going there? No, I don't. I'll have to go there. Am I safe going there? No, I'm not. But do I have to go? Yes. So you see, let's put people's lives first before any other thing. Yes, we've got plans. Obviously, we cannot sit, as I said before, we cannot sit and say we don't have contingency plans. We do have them. As I said, we've got plan A, B, C, D, and E this time around, because we want these things to happen. And we want it to happen and to make sure that netball continues. Because you know what? Some people, netball is their life. And if you don't give them netball to play, you're actually saying to them they're dead, and we cannot do that to them. And we want netball. If we want to sell netball, we face in 2023. We cannot have a dead year in netball. I refuse. I totally refuse as the president. We cannot have a dead year in Netball South Africa. We face in 2023. And if we want people to know about netball, follow netball, and know what is there that they can do for netball and help netball, we have to be visible. We have to be out there. No matter how we are visible and under what circumstances, we will be visible, and we will go out there and do what is supposed to be done. And that is play netball and make sure that netball it's a force to reckon with. I mean, we're the biggest female federation. So why not lead by example?
We are. No, I do believe you when you say it is going to happen, because even last year, way before when we went into lockdown, you did say that the TNL is going to take place no matter what, and it did actually take place, and everything went well. But looking at 2021, what sort of events can we expect? How is the calendar looking like for netball?
We want to do all our events. We want to start with the under-19 championships. They had a dead year last year, which is something not good. We want to have that under-19 championship. If we had the SPA championship, we can do the under-19 championship. It's simple as ABC. We tested with the bigger one, which is the under-19 champion, with the SPA championships. So now we're going to have the under-19 championships. Obviously, TNL will play. I'll say it again. Under what circumstances? TNL will gonna happen. The SPA National Championships are going to happen. We are going to introduce a new league. A challenge. Let me not talk about it. Let me not spoil the mood. Let me not talk about it, but we're going to introduce it. We're going to do a virtual media launch. We don't have a choice right now, and we're going to do it. So we're coming up with exciting things for netball. Some I want to say to you, Dikeledi, just wait for me to do the announcement and let it be exciting.
We can't
wait. Hang in there.
We absolutely can't wait. So everyone must just look out on all of Netball South Africa's social media pages for more information. But I mean, Netball South Africa, when you guys released the statement, you guys did say that you're suspending all activities with immediate effect until further notice. How often are you meeting with the executive board to review this decision?
No, we have to meet weekly. It's a must. We met last week. We will have to meet this week. We'll have to meet weekly because we have to also look at the situations and finding out which places doesn't have more of infected areas. So as we can take those championships to them. I remember last year when we went to TNL, we said Bloemfontein, but we didn't have COVID-19. And when we went to Bloemfontein, it was the most infected area. So, you know, it's a catch-22 situation. So we will have to deal with catch-22 situation. And we are up to it. I mean, we've learned from TNL. We've learned from the Spa Challenge of the Malawi game that we've played in Sun City. We learned from the Spa Championships. So I don't think it's much of a hassle. But for now, looking at the rate that, you know, it's no longer numbers that we see that people are dying. It's people with names and surnames. People that we know, people that are close to us. And it's affecting us, whether we like it or not. Emotionally, mentally, physically, somehow, it's going to affect you. Dikeledi, I know the pain of death. I've experienced it firsthand, and it's not good. So let's not want other people, because of our recklessness and because of our ignorance and because of our big-headed, you know, egos. And we say, you know, big egos to say, no, we have to do this. This has to happen. If our sponsors and our partners, I want to call them our partners, understand that this is what is happening and this is what the decision that we took as Netball South Africa, you know, and they respect it. I would urge and pledge with my members to also understand that we are not doing this for any other reason, however, to save lives in this country.
Sure, and that's definitely a priority. But on a more positive note, though, I mean, looking at the events that actually took place under this new norm and biosafe environments, you know, it seems like the players actually stepped up, you know, considering the fact that they didn't have enough time to train as a team. But looking at the TNL, they gave us some very, very interesting action. You know, they're very competitive. How would you sum up, you know, how those events actually went and how the players actually managed to adapt to the new norm and just made everything a success? Like, not everything was sort of like a breeze.
It was really a breeze and a fresh one, you know, a fresh breeze. Thank you. Thank you to the players. I want to say that. And thank you so much to the coaches. Because when I say to the players, train, TNL will happen no matter what. Train at home, be self-disciplined, do the things at home on your own. You know, netball is a very exciting sport. You can train on your own. You can do things on your own. Doesn't force you to be in a team. However, the coaches, I know how important it is as a former coach that you need those combinations. You need that game time. You need that court time. You need to understand that. However, I want to say thank you to everybody because, you know, my father used to say to me, if you can't say thank you, you know, you have to be able to say thank you. Those two words are so important. You know, gratitude, they're so important. And to me, it's thank you to everybody and thank you to the events team. Thank you to everybody that made this happen. And most importantly, thank you to the partners for understanding. Thank you to Telkom. Telkom, they say, leave your Munati. I don't say leave your Munati, I say leave your netball. Thank you to Spa. They say Spa is good for you. I say no, Spa is good for netball. You know, I want to say thank you to those two, especially because those are the ones that really stepped up and, you know, came and understand us and did this with us. And thank you to all our sponsors, Tsohosan, Enegate, Gilbert, Puma. Oh, our girls look beautiful. You know, they look so beautiful. Most of them said to me, President, when you feel good, you play good. And you know what? We feel good. That's why you're seeing the performance you're seeing. So we have to, you know, say thank you to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture nationally. We have to say thank you to Lottery. We have to say thank you to everybody else. Media House. Without you guys, we are nothing. Our stories will be untold stories. But with you, with us, and being with us and supporting us, our stories are told. And thank you to all the supporters and everybody else. And lastly, thank you to my executive for understanding and to my council members for understanding. So thank you to everybody. Let's hang in there. Let's go and say 2021 is 20 for one, and which is one injury is an injury to all.
True. Everyone just needs to work together to make this a success. But I mean, when I was also reading your statement, you guys also mentioned the fact that you will continue to consult all relevant stakeholders regarding, obviously, the resumption of netball activities. Who are some of the people that you guys are liaising with in terms of a way forward for netball?
All our sponsors, we keep them abreast. They have to know everything what is happening, and we inform them and we discuss with them. We've got such a beautiful relationship with them. We discuss with them, and that's it's heartwarming to know that you can go to your partner and say to them, look, this is the situation, and say we share the same sentiments. And that, makes you be at ease and be calm when dealing with situations. We are in constant, contact with them. And, this is where we are, and we are very grateful to them.
And lastly, just to wrap up this interview, any words of encouragement and advice to all the netball players out there? If they managed to survive 2020 and they came back stronger when netball resumed, what do you have to say to them in terms of what they can expect for the year? And I mean, you've mentioned a lot in terms of just making sure that everyone will get game time, especially as we prepare for the 2023 Netball World Cup that we are hoping to lift right here on home soil.
Simple. Be committed, hang in there, and believe that it will happen. We never make promises and never deliver. So we do promises knowing that we'll deliver. So all that you have to do is train hard. Keep being positive and tell yourself that you are the best, because nobody else can tell you better than yourself. Tell yourself that you're best, and you'll do the best for your province, for your district, for your country. So if it's that, you'll do it, and hard work pays at the end of the day. And before I even end with you, let me end on a sad note to say my condolences to everybody else of the netball family that have lost members through COVID-19. I know it's not good times, it's trying times. However, I'll say Psalm 121 says, I look up to the mountain. That's where my help comes from. So look up to the mountain. That's where your help will come from. And to Gary, who is our, one of our people that, was working with us at Netball South Africa. He lost his life and he succumbed to COVID-19. I'd like to say to Gary Grant's family, the wife and the kids, as Netball South Africa, we are touched the way you are. We have lost the way you lost. We feel your pain. We are with you. And may the soul of Gary rest in peace. He will be solemnly missed by all of us. And thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and just talking to us and giving us an update of what we can expect for the year and how you and your team are working so hard just to make sure that you work around these unprecedented times, just to make sure that people actually go back on court and do what they love doing.
Remember, wear your mask, sanitize, keep social distancing. Stay at home if possible, and you'll be safe. We want you alive. We want to see you alive in 2021. We can't afford to lose you. Have a blessed year. Thank you.